gang, Melissa here, and how about a disclaimer? Because who doesn't love a disclaimer, right? Right? Okay, there's a lot of people that don't. However, firstly, I want to say thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. I have a lot of new people here, and I really am appreciative that you do take time out of your day to listen to me babbling about whateverness, and that you comment and interact, and I really truly love that and appreciate it. With that said, there's not even like a but, you know, because that negates it. I appreciate it. However, does that still negate it? Maybe it does. I also know that when I have done videos of this nature in the past, I do get a little bit more feedback than others saying, oh my god, you're negative, and oh, your sarcasm just really is off-putting. I respect that. So let me say to you, if you don't like rants, if you perceive speaking not positively about something as negative, which, and I know you're going, but it is, it may be negative or not, it's factual. I mean, it's just me. I want to share this experience that I had with you and tell you about it, and it may appear negative, but I really am one of the most positive people you will ever meet, and you can just ask my husband that. Seriously, because like something goes wrong with the car, the air conditioning went out this summer, and he's like, oh my god, it's $230. I'm like, but honey, at least the transmission didn't go out. That would have been $3,000, you know? Or if he's really sick, I'm like, but you don't have cancer, you're not in a wheelchair. And he seriously wants to punch me in the face, because I really do try and put a positive spin on things. And it may be hard for you to believe because I'm so sarcastic, but I was just born that way. Take it up with him, okay? This is just who I am, and I'm comfortable with it. No, I am. I'm 37. I'm comfortable in my own skin because I just don't have a choice at this point. But my point is, that was a long way of saying, if you don't like these kind of videos, please click out. And I'm saying that out of respect for you. That way you don't have to deal with it and you don't have to kind of be uncomfortable and whatnot. However, for those of you who appreciate my candid, non-sugar-coated way of informing you about things, please stay tuned. So from the title, you probably already see that it's a Botox update and a rant. And it's not like a crazy rant, but I'm frustrated, and I have gotten the emotionalness out of it with Kristen Game on the Vox Box after my appointment, and now I'm here to the factual point about it. Yeah, still not gonna sugarcoat it, okay? I'm just gonna give it to you. The Botox update. And if you haven't seen my original Botox video about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I'll go ahead and link it in the bottom. I'll also link it right about here. If you click on it, it'll open a new window so you won't lose your spot here. So you have those two options. I still stand by Botox. I stand by the reasons why I did it because they're truthful, and I stand by the fact that I'll continue to do it. It's for me. It's not for everybody, but it's for me. However, here is what has been going on. I got my injection this time, July 31st. I hadn't had one in about 3 years because we were trying to get pregnant, and then that took a long time. And then I finally got pregnant, so of course there's that 9 months, and then I had the baby, and it just wasn't a priority for a while, clearly until the end of July, right? So anyway, there was a special $10 a unit, so I went in there and I explained that in the video, and that was July 31st. Well, about a week and a half ago, I'm looking at my face, and I am noticing things that should not be there after about, I don't know, 6 weeks of Botox. And I know there's a lot of you that are going to go, that's petty, that's ridiculous, you can't see this or that. But again, it's my face. I paid for this product, this service, and it should be lasting. It should be lasting. So here's what I saw, and I'll show you. When I go like that right there, no. I hate that. I've hated it for a long time, and it was gone after that July injection. It was gone. It was taken care of. And then that right there. I like the movement here because I do not like a frozen face. But this right here was gone, and it was back. So I was pretty upset about that. I mean, it wasn't just like, oh my god, I'm devastated, okay? There's bigger world problems. I know that. I'm just talking about Botox. Just right here, okay? Okay. So I couldn't make an appointment until I went today. I couldn't make the appointment until today because there were things going on, and then husband and I went away for 2 nights just to get away for a couple nights because we try and do that every now and then. And that was this past weekend. So I made the appointment and I got in there. You know, I called yesterday and they're like, yeah, we can see you at 9:30 in the morning. So I was like, great. So I went there today and I talked to Betsy, and she's the one who did my original injection. Let me first say, Betsy's nice. She's great. I like her very much. But I went in there and I said, hey, I know I had the injection July 31st, but you know, you told me it was basically 30 days to take full effect. And she's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, yeah, you did. She goes, no, it only takes 14 days. I said, yeah. I said, but that's what I thought too. And when I brought that up to you last time, you said, no, it could take up to 30 days. And she's like, no. And let me tell you right now, that pissed me off. That pissed me off and sent me just into oblivion. I mean, I seriously think you could have seen smoke through my ears because she did say it. I know she said it because I even put it in my original video. And I remember having the discussion with her at the time when she told me on July 31st that I've been having Botox since I was 27. This is the first time I've ever heard that. I always heard it was 2 weeks. She's like, no, yeah, it can take up to 30 days. I'm like, good to know. And that's why I put it in the video. Okay, I'm not crazy. I didn't imagine that conversation. And you know, I can be crazy, okay? I can be crazy. I'm just kidding. I'm medicated, so I can't. But this is not something that I made up. And it's not like it was a simple mistake in a conversation that you have on a day-to-day thing. This is a professional who is providing a service in her profession and knows and should know the particulars about side effects and times it takes to take effect. So for her to sit there and tell me that, no, she didn't tell me that a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago, when I know for a fact she did, I was just, it flew all over me. I'm gonna move on. So I was like, Melissa, let it go, because what I have learned in my very short 37 years here on earth is that there are just some people who will never admit they're wrong, ever. And I don't know why. I don't even know what is so scary about saying, I was wrong. I made a mistake. And that's an entirely different video, because seriously, I'm trying to teach my girls that now. I'm like, just say you were wrong. Nothing bad is gonna happen. You'll be respected more if you say you were wrong. Okay, I'm totally moving on. Oh, and by the way, before I move on, I'm wrong every day. At some point every day I'm wrong. But I say it. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying it's just not a bad thing to say you're wrong. Okay, I'm really moving on. So I decided just to, you know, I'm like, Melissa, oh Melissa, just shut your face. So I just shut my face. And I was like, well, okay, well, regardless, I just need to touch up. And let me first say this is my fault. Here's where Melissa was wrong in this situation. Melissa did not ask, why are you talking about yourself in the third person? That's annoying. I'm sorry, I'm annoyed too. The mistake that I made was before going for this injection, I didn't ask are touch-ups still included? Because from the time that I was 27 until 2000, she said 2010 had been my last injection, which makes sense, 2013 and the baby and whatnot. She said they stopped doing touch-ups for free in 2011. And that's my fault. For some reason in my little brain, I never thought to ask, because I just assumed that that just was just part of it, because you're spending so much money on the front end, they definitely want to make you happy, so if they didn't put enough in, they're going to put, you know, a couple of units more in and just be done with it. But they stopped doing that in 2011. So my bad for not checking on that. So she looks at me and examines me again, and she's like, well, you know, there's just so many variables, and you know, you could build up a tolerance. And then she looked and she's like, oh, but you haven't had it in 3 years. I'm like, mm-hmm. You know, I didn't, but in my mind I'm like, right, so there's really no tolerance there because I haven't had it in 3 years. And your metabolism, and well, let me first say that my metabolism is epically slow right now because I'm 85 pounds heavier than I was when I used to have it done. That's a lot, okay? But yeah, no, so it's not my metabolism that's kicking in there. And she looks at the file and she's like, oh, well, you know, you've had a hard time having it set in before. I have had to go back several times for just mini itty bitty touch-ups where it didn't fully take. Never like that. Never like that after a couple of weeks. But yeah, I had to go back before, and they happily did it, and I went about my way. So if you watched my first video, you know that I spent $360. I hate to talk about money, but again, it's very important to tell you the truth and be transparent. So I spent $360 on this and that. And that was hard, but I was like, okay, it's worth it. So she's like, we don't do free touch-ups. So she examined me and she's like, you need 6 units here. So here, 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 and then 6 units, 2, 4, 6 there. And so at $10 a unit, which she nicely gave me the price that I got it on the first time, it was obviously $120. Okay, so sorry for the crazy insert, but I hadn't planned on filming today, hence why it doesn't look like I should be in front of a camera. But I didn't want to annotate this because I know a lot of people put videos on in the background and listen while they're doing dishes. I know I do that all the time. So after she told me that it would be 12 additional units and told me the $10, she goes, but we're having a special on October 31st. It'll be $8 a unit. I said, okay. I said, well, can you give me that price now? And she goes, no. And she goes, but you can come back October 31st and have it all redone. I was just, again, I didn't say anything, but I was just like, oh yeah, I'm going to come back and just, you know, plop 40 down, no problem. But, and then she waits a few minutes and says, well, because it's set by my manager. But again, she didn't even ask her manager if that might have been a possibility considering the situation. So again, I just feel like, okay, come on now. But back to the regular scheduled film. So tack that on to the $360 I originally spent. You're talking about $480 for Botox for a couple of months. And it's expensive to begin with, but in this day and age when there's so many Groupon specials at reputable places, that's a little bit crazy. And I had talked to her about that, and I'm like, I said, you know, it's funny, I said, because I used to get these areas done before when it wasn't on special, and I never paid this much. And she's like, well, back when you had it done, it used to be $15 a unit, but because of the economy, we dropped it down to $12 a unit, and then the special you got was $10 a unit because of the economy. And I guess in my mind, and again, I didn't say it because it would have come out wrong, it would have been sarcastic, and I have some self-control. Not in this video, I don't. But what I wanted to say was, oh, for the economy, well, maybe if you continue to do touch-ups, then, you know, that would help too for those people. But I didn't say it. And again, this is a voluntary treatment. You have the right to go anywhere. But I personally feel like it's bad business. It's bad business. It's crappy customer service. You know, because she looked through my file and to me, it struck her for the first time. She's like, oh, well, I see that you've had you've had to come back for touch-ups before. Well, if she knew that the first time, then that should have been taken into effect, I guess. And it's never a perfect situation, and I get that. But since I've had, and even here, I am still trying to be careful because I'm not trying to, this is not about emotion. It's not about emotion. It's pretty much just about crappy customer service and right and wrong. And you're like, Botox, right and wrong. The point is that this is something I've had done for years, on and off. So it's not like the first time going in. And typically my treatments used to last 5 to 6 months. And you're looking at a treatment, if it took full effect 2 weeks after July 31st, you're talking about this, you know, halfway through August. Well, now we're just almost to the end of September. So what, 5 weeks? And then that's happening. I haven't built up resistance, and it's not a metabolism thing. I'm not a smoker, and environmental things take effect too. And I understand that. I am not a smoker. I drink a sick amount of water every day. I'm a social drinker. I'm not, you know, sitting here plugging away alcohol all the time. So those factors, no, not so much either. And where I'm at with it, again, I'm going to continue to get Botox. I love the result, but I will absolutely not be going back there. And that's sad to me because it's sad. I'm not going to cry. It is sad. I've been going there since I was 27. You know, I've been going there for 10 years, and I have had another procedure done there that I was really happy with. And so they lost a customer, and does it matter to them? Probably not. Probably not, and that's okay. I'm sure that there's, you know, the cosmetic industry and all of that is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Are they going to miss Melissa coming there randomly? No, they're not. But it's some money they could have had. That's all I'm saying. And they're obviously not that booked that I did, you know, because I called the day before and they were like, yep, we can fit you in at this time, or this time. So it's not like the schedule is completely packed. I'm just saying. But yeah, I'm frustrated with it. I'm frustrated with myself for not asking the question of, hey, do you still do touch-ups if it's not the desired effect? I'm mad at myself, and I am mad again for paying now an additional $120. So $480, that's the most. I've never spent that much on these two areas ever, and that was supposed to be on special. So I'm frustrated in general. I like Betsy. She's a very nice woman. The other issue I feel is, did I get watered down Botox? And I'm not even saying intentionally, although that does happen. So again, do your research. There are some places that are not as reputable that will water down the Botox so that you're not getting as much injected as you think, but you're getting charged for it. And then sometimes there are people who are, you know, adding saline and whatnot that's supposed to be added, but are doing it improperly and not knowing. I'm not saying she did this either. I'm just saying I think it's very strange that I've had this experience, considering I've had, again, for the past 10 years had this done, even though it's been 3 years. So it's frustrating. I'm frustrated. They've lost a customer. I will not be going back there. And it's too bad. Like, again, I like the place. Betsy is very nice, but I can go on Groupon and get it way cheaper at a place that's reputable that already does my laser photo facials. And that's okay. So I'll put a Groupon link below so you can check out. There's always like facial specials and massages and laser treatments and hair removal and Botox. So there's so much available there at such a great price. So definitely check that out. But that's just a little update for you. I'm sorry if you feel like it's negative. It's not the end of the world. I know that. It's just something that kind of miffed me a little bit, and I wanted to share it with you because I like sharing with you guys. So let me know if you have any questions. Again, I'll link the other video, and I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having a good day. It's a little hiccup, but it's still a good day. So, alright guys, hope to see you in the next one. Oh, also, and I already stood up, so I don't want to sit back down, I sent them my original Botox video because, you know, I had a good experience, and I shared it with them. And out of all fairness, I'm going to send them this link too because I think it's the right thing to do. I stand behind what I say, what I said. That's my feelings on it. But I also feel like if I could send them that other video, I'm not going to be afraid to send them this video. So I'm going to send them this one too. And it just is what it is. So, all right.